Did Cleopatra, the last pharaoh of Egypt, truly wield enough power to shape the course of history? Cleopatra VII, an emblem of beauty, intrigue, and power, was indeed the last active ruler of the Ptolemaic kingdom of Egypt. Born into the Ptolemaic dynasty, a lineage of Macedonian Greek origin, she ascended to the throne in a realm where cultures converged. Her ancestry traced back to Ptolemy III Soter, a companion and historian of Alexander the Great, who established Hellenistic rule over Egypt after Alexander's untimely death. During Cleopatra's reign, the rich tapestry of Egyptian traditions interwove with the threads of Hellenistic culture, creating a vibrant, dynamic society. Her fluency in multiple languages, including Egyptian, which many of her predecessors shied away from, exemplified her dedication to ruling a diverse populace. As a ruler, Cleopatra navigated through tumultuous alliances and enmities with powerful Roman figures, all while striving to stabilize and enhance her empire's stature on the global stage. As we peel back the layers of time, Cleopatra emerges not just as a queen, but a formidable strategist and a shaper of her destiny. In a royal family rife with intrigue, Cleopatra's ascent to the throne was anything but simple. Born into the Ptolemaic dynasty, a lineage descended from one of Alexander the Great's generals, Cleopatra VII was groomed for power in an environment where knowledge was as crucial as royal blood. Unlike many of her predecessors, she was educated rigorously, mastering as many as 9 languages and immersing herself in the political and cultural tapestries of her empire. From a young age, Cleopatra was involved in the intricate dance of politics, observing her father, Ptolemy XIV, navigate the treacherous waters of rule. She learned early that to hold power, one must wield it deftly amidst both visible and hidden currents. Her father's reign, fraught with challenges, set the backdrop against which she honed her political acumen. Following her father's death, the throne wasn't simply handed to Cleopatra. The customs of the time dictated she co-rule with her younger brother, Ptolemy XIII, who was but a boy. This arrangement, however, was far from harmonious. Cleopatra's ambitions and vision for Egypt often clashed with the interests of those who surrounded her brother, primarily driven by advisors and courtiers with their own agendas. The palace was a nest of vipers, with conspiracies lurking in shadowed corners. Cleopatra quickly realized that maintaining her grip on power would require more than mere lineage. It demanded cunning, decisiveness, and an iron will. The stage was set, the players in place, but Cleopatra was to be no ordinary co-ruler, a fateful encounter that would change the course of history: Cleopatra and Julius Caesar. In the annals of history, few relationships have been as politically charged and romantically intertwined as that of Cleopatra, the last pharaoh of Egypt, and Julius Caesar, the mighty Roman general. Cleopatra, determined to reclaim her throne from her disputatious younger brother, devised a plan that would not only restore her power, but also reshape the Mediterranean political landscape. The year was 48 before the Common Era. Rome was embroiled in civil war, and Julius Caesar had pursued his rival Pompey to Alexandria, where Pompey met a grim fate. Amidst this chaos, Cleopatra saw an opportunity. She was a fugitive in her own land, ousted by her brother and his advisors. Her return to power required an ally with formidable influence, and who better than Julius Caesar himself? Cleopatra's entry to meet Caesar is the stuff of legend. Determined to avoid her brother's guards, she had herself wrapped in a Persian carpet, or some say a linen sack, which was then delivered as a gift to Caesar in his quarters. When the carpet was unfurled, out emerged Cleopatra, not just in physical allure, but brimming with the charisma and political acumen that Caesar found irresistible. The impact of this audacious introduction was profound. Caesar, enchanted by Cleopatra's intelligence and her political insight, agreed to support her claim to the throne. This led to a military showdown in Alexandria, known as the Alexandrian War, where Caesar's legions triumphed. Cleopatra was reinstated as co-ruler alongside her brother Ptolemy XIV, but the true power lay firmly in her hands. Their alliance extended beyond the battlefield. Cleopatra and Caesar became lovers, and their union produced a son, Caesarian. During Caesar's stay in Egypt, which lasted until the following spring, their combined influence brought stability and prosperity to a region riddled with strife. With Caesar's support, Cleopatra cemented her power, but her story was far from over. Cleopatra now reigned supreme, a queen with the backing of Rome. After the assassination of Julius Caesar, a turbulent period ensued, and Cleopatra found herself navigating through these choppy political waters with astuteness and grace. Her next significant alliance was with Mark Antony, a Roman statesman and general. This partnership was not only romantic, but also a strategic move that fortified her position and extended her influence throughout the Eastern Mediterranean. Under Cleopatra's rule, Egypt experienced a renaissance of sorts. She embarked on ambitious economic programs aimed at revitalizing Egypt's economy, which had languished under years of foreign intrigue and internal discord. Her initiatives included cultivating vast new agricultural lands and improving the existing irrigation systems, which boosted the production of wheat and papyrus, two of Egypt's most crucial exports. But Cleopatra's rule wasn't just about economic reform. She was a patron of the arts and culture, heavily investing in the Library of Alexandria, making it a beacon of knowledge and learning that attracted scholars from across the world. Under her patronage, the library expanded its collections significantly, which in turn fostered an environment of intellectual flourishing. Cleopatra also deeply immersed herself in Egyptian culture, adopting its customs and religion. She presented herself as the reincarnation of the goddess Isis, skillfully weaving her image into the very fabric of Egyptian society. This was not merely a political tactic, it was a masterstroke of cultural integration that helped solidify her rule. She participated in native rituals and became fluent in the Egyptian language, which was unusual for a member of the Ptolemaic dynasty who typically spoke Greek. This period was marked by a blend of Hellenistic and Egyptian influences, which were reflected in the art, architecture, and coinage of the time, illustrating Cleopatra's role as a bridge between two cultures. Cleopatra was not only a political leader, but a cultural icon, intertwining her identity with that of her country. The winds of change brought war, and with it, the end of an era. The final chapter of the Ptolemaic kingdom began as the Roman Republic itself teetered on the brink of transformation. The ambitious Octavian, Julius Caesar's adopted son, was set on consolidating power and had marked Antony and Cleopatra as his rivals. The stage was set for conflict, a showdown that would decide the fate of an empire. The events leading up to this cataclysmic struggle were fraught with political maneuvers and alliances. Antony, deeply enamored and politically allied with Cleopatra, found himself increasingly at odds with Octavian. The friction culminated in the infamous Battle of Actium in 31 BC, a naval confrontation off the western coast of Greece. Antony and Cleopatra commanded a sizable fleet, but they faced a well-organized and determined Octavian. The battle, however, did not play to Antony and Cleopatra's strengths. Strategic missteps sealed their fate. Antony's decision to fight at sea rather than on land where his experience lay was the first in a series of errors. Octavian's fleet, under the command of Agrippa, proved too formidable. As the battle raged, Cleopatra's fleet made a critical and controversial decision to break through the Roman lines and flee back to Egypt. Antony, torn between battle and love, followed her, an act that many of his soldiers viewed as an abandonment. This retreat marked the beginning of the end. Back in Egypt, Antony's forces dwindled as news of Actium spread, demoralizing his remaining supporters. In a tragic conclusion, as Octavian's forces closed in, Antony believed Cleopatra had taken her own life and, in despair, fell on his sword. Cleopatra, alive but captured, managed to evade Roman imprisonment by also committing suicide, famously using an asp according to legend. With their deaths, Octavian swiftly annexed Egypt, bringing it under Roman control. The once glorious Ptolemaic dynasty, which had ruled Egypt for nearly 300 years, came to a grim and ignoble end. With Cleopatra's demise, the age of the pharaohs was forever closed. Scene script: Cleopatra, a name that echoes through history, But what has lingered beyond her reign? As the last active ruler of the Ptolemaic kingdom of Egypt, Cleopatra was not only a monarch, but also a shrewd politician and a cultural innovator. Her reign was marked by significant political and cultural achievements that have rippled through time. Cleopatra's political acumen was evident in her strategic alliances and adept handling of internal and external pressures, which sustained Egypt's independence during a period of Roman expansion. Beyond politics, Cleopatra was a patron of the arts and sciences. Under her rule, Alexandria continued to flourish as a hub of culture and learning, housing the Great Library and attracting scholars from across the Mediterranean. This commitment helped preserve and enhance Hellenistic culture, intertwining it with Egyptian traditions and leaving a hybrid legacy that would influence both Eastern and Western cultures for centuries. The allure of Cleopatra has not faded with time. She has been immortalized in countless works of art and literature, embodying the archetype of the powerful, intelligent, and seductive female ruler. From Shakespeare's tragedy, Antony and Cleopatra, to the iconic 1963 film portrayal by Elizabeth Taylor, each interpretation offers a new facet of her persona, reflecting the values and fascinations of each era. Today, Cleopatra continues to inspire discussions about female power, leadership, and identity. Her story challenges and enriches our understanding of the past, proving that her influence extends far beyond her lifetime. Cleopatra remains a figure of fascination and mystery, a testament to her formidable presence in a world dominated by men.